Now, I usually don't make videos on topics like this, but I just felt that I had to because it looks like everywhere online, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else, even non-social media, that's what the topic of conversation is. So I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to offer my opinion on it and see what you guys think. I wanted to make this video about the larger point that we need to consider because I don't believe that Will Smith's anger was really meant for Chris Rock, right? And there's a reason. So this is the secret that a lot of people are not considering. So in his book, in Will Smith's autobiography that just came out, he talks about, I'm going to read from my phone here. The first chapter is actually called Fear. And this is what he says. When I was 9 years old, I watched my father punch my mother in the side of her head so hard that she collapsed. I saw her spill blood. That moment in her bedroom, that moment in that bedroom, probably more than any other moment in my life, has defined who I am today. Within everything that I have done since then, the awards and accolades, the spotlights and the attention, the characters and the laughs, there has been a subtle string of apologies to my mother for that inaction that day, for failing her in that moment, for failing to stand up to my father, for being a coward. So that's what's followed Will Smith all through his life. And I believe that is the same for most of us, for especially if you're an adult. Most adults, I sincerely believe, are just living out their childhood, the trauma and, the things that you've seen in your childhood, the things that you've been through, some of the things that happen around your family that you've seen, and you're reliving all these different experiences from your childhood like, over and over and over again as an adult. And just one moment, one thing that might happen in your childhood can just trigger you later on in life. So Chris Rock unfortunately happened to be that one thing that happened that just triggered Will. And I guess psychologically reminded him of that one moment from his childhood where he didn't protect his mother. And here was this woman, Jada, that he loved, and he felt that he had to protect her. He had to prove himself. And I guess that's what happens. And, we probably all have our moments in life where something like that can trigger anybody. It could be just some type of a something. For example, you ever something that happens and just brings back, it could be a scent or it could be a smell, just brings back a memory from way back in your childhood that has been lying dormant in your subconscious. Because children are really impressionable. At that age, if you're, anywhere between the ages of 4, even younger than that, 4, 7, sometimes even the age of 10. You're really impressionable. Everything going on around you, you're taking in all this information, right? Uh, so yeah, so that's what Will Smith said. All the things that he's been through, all the awards, the movies, were like a mask of covering up the pain of seeing his mother being struck by his father. And not to make an excuse for his father, because any type of violence, whether it be emotional abuse, psychological, physical abuse, is wrong. But you just never know what his father might have seen in his childhood, whether there was some kind of violence or abuse in his household. I mean, let's think about it. Will Smith's grandparents could have been lived during the Jim Crow era, and all the psychological trauma that was going on, against African Americans at that time. You just never know. So, and it's manifested itself into what happened with Will Smith. Yeah, it's really really interesting. That he did all this just to cover up that pain. And there's some things that in our lives I believe that just trigger us, and Chris Rock just happened to be that person, just happened to be in that moment. So I believe that that slap that was heard around the world wasn't really meant for, Chris Rock, but it was just to cover up something, was just to prove to himself that kind of prove his manhood, because here is the woman, his wife, the woman that he loves. right? And there's somebody that's saying something that he thinks is really horrible about her, and he felt that he had to stand up as a man and protect his loved one, just like he didn't do when he was a child. So yeah, I believe that yeah, Chris Rock just happened to be an innocent bystander, and I don't condone violence. We should never, ever resort to violence to handle any disagreements. But yeah, I don't know how I would have acted in that moment. Comment below and let me know if you would have acted the same, if you agree or disagree with Chris Rock, but or with actually with Will Smith. But yeah, yeah, black people all over the world, we're going through, we've been through a lot. You know, we've been through a lot of emotional pains and hurts that we just don't know how to handle, you know, and that's why we need to seek therapy. Yeah. But, and, you know, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for that sort of violence because what if he was the person, the comedian happened to be a white person? Would Will Smith have walked up to a white person and just slapped him? Probably not. Maybe not. You know, so yeah, it's a crazy event. And really, I don't even watch um Oscars or entertainment shows like that, but